silver, interesting article. J.P. Morgan cornering the silver bullion market? Question mark.
Really?
Oh.
Here is J.P. Morgan, who has been shorting silver and continues to do so today. Legendary silver analyst Ted Butler has released some shocking information, and then Michael Snyder picked up on it, and Goldcore picked up on it. Different areas have. And basically, J.P. Morgan Chase, the largest U.S. bank, one of the largest providers of financial services in the world, and one of the most powerful banks in the world, has accumulated one of the largest stockpiles of silver the world has ever seen. The total J.P. Morgan silver stockpile has increased dramatically in the last 4 years. In 2011, J.P. Morgan had little or no silver. By 2012, they had acquired 5 million ounces of silver bullion. Incredibly, the last 3 years, their COMEX silver stockpile has increased tenfold and is now over 55 million ounces.
Wow.
Here's the breakdown of the COMEX recent physical deliveries of silver to J.P. Morgan. April 7th, 1.1 million ounces. April 8th, 1.28 million ounces.
Wow.
April 9th, 993,000 ounces. April 10th, 1.2 million ounces. April 14th, 1.07 million ounces. April 15th, 1.2 million ounces. April 16th, 1.2 million ounces. That's every few days. Jamie Dimon, the chairman of J.P. Morgan Chase, said this: "Some things never change. There will be another crisis, and its impact will be felt by the financial market." What's he saying? The crisis is coming.
Right. That's right.
A crisis is coming. So let's take a look at, here is the chart for J.P. Morgan, and this is down here in this is 2012 right here. This is 2011. You can see what's happened. This is they have what's called registered stocks and eligible stocks. They're up here at 55 million shares. This is what they have taken from the COMEX. They have taken this from the COMEX. So this is, and you think, well, isn't that pushing up the price of silver? No. Why is the price of silver going? If these guys are doing this, why is the price of silver going down? Well, it just so happens they are shorting silver to keep the price down so they can buy low.
Oh.
So what they're doing is they're shorting silver in the futures market, putting on massive shorts in order to keep the price down, and they're continuing to buy in the physical market. And in the now, what we find is that then we have a little note from Ted Butler. So it is interesting to note that legendary silver market analyst Ted Butler has estimated that J.P. Morgan may currently hold far more than their official figure of 55 million ounces. Butler believes the true figure to be closer to 350 million ounces. Annual global silver production is 820 million ounces, which, if Butler is correct, puts J.P. Morgan in a position to corner the physical silver market today, unlike the Hunt brothers back in 1980, as this would equate to a holding of 42.7% of total annual supply by J.P. Morgan.
Wow.
J.P. Morgan has been acquiring this vast hoard of physical silver while holding the largest short position in the silver futures market, i.e., while suppressing the silver price with its unlimited access to free money, according to Butler. What does J.P. Morgan have access to? Free money. You go to the Fed, you get unlimited amounts at next to zero, close to zero. You can use that money to short the market, and you can use that money to buy silver in the market. Free money, Isn't that great? Isn't that a great deal? You know, wouldn't you like to have that deal? It says, however, it would appear that J.P. Morgan now have less motivation to cap silver in the paper markets, and indeed are set to make enormous profits from the physical position they have taken. Indeed, they are likely to reverse their leveraged short positions and also go long in the silver futures market in order to maximize profits. When J.P. Morgan chooses to exploit this advantage remains to be seen. It seems likely that a major event is imminent in the markets, and demand for physical gold and silver will likely soon surge again. Will banks take their thumb off the electronic silver market and allow prices to rise in the near future? That seems to be really shaping up. And influence over the U.S. government and the U.S. Treasury and the Federal Reserve. Silver is no longer regarded as a good investment. It is only owned by a small minority of hard money advocates and bullion buyers who realize its importance as a hedging instrument and a safe haven and a store of value asset. J.P. Morgan, however, seems to realize the value of owning physical silver bullion today. Conclusion, precious metals look the most undervalued of all the asset classes, particularly silver. J.P. Morgan's silver accumulation suggests another economic crisis looms large and that silver is set to soar again. That was from Zero Hedge, and it was originally written by Goldcore, but Michael Snyder put together an article. People are using portions of his. Here's another article by goldandsilver.com. Why is J.P. Morgan accumulating the biggest stockpile of physical silver in history? Similar article along the same lines. So what happens is we're talking about Silver Valley revelation. When is this all going to happen? Well, eventually, when silver is in demand. What we've all said was silver is going to be the coinage of the average guy. Gold is going to be the thing that's going to back currencies and going to be behind governments, but silver is going to be behind the average guy. Our thoughts are that we should all own as much physical silver in our own pocket as possible, and we should be invested in some silver companies that are likely to survive. These are usually the well-funded and producing companies. And then hopefully Christian investors will come along and buy up the struggling silver miners that are basically on hold right now, and see what we can do to put that together. The